Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to today's stream. Let me get the usual stuff set up. There we are. Let me get this guy changed. Today's goal. Speedrunning and developing. The goals are going to get a lot more ambiguous and stay a lot more ambiguous from here on out, by the way. Because we are in the home stretch, I will say. Things are coming to a close pretty soon, which is very exciting. But that means there's a lot of little things to do everywhere. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing development-wise. But today, main goal is just to celebrate being a Next Fest. I think that's pretty cool. I'm quite excited about that. So we're going to play through the demo, try to set some good dev times to beat. Include those in the final game as a fun little bonus challenge if you really got what it takes to beat my own scores, which I definitely think some people in the Discord are definitely going to be faster than I am. But regardless, how is everybody in chat doing today? We got Ansterar, Crystal Sword, and Pickled Emu. Hope you guys are doing well. We'll be going through the Void Collector movie, and it is always Chris Pratt. Doesn't matter what role, what movie, it is always him. Alright, get the soundtrack on real quick. Before we get to doing the speedrunning, so playing the demo, I want to show you guys a new title sequence I've been working on. There's still a little bit of jank, but you can see here we can see some of the enemies in the background as like silhouettes to make them all spookier. We got a fade and click to start, and if you do click to start, you get a nice little logo fade in. Then the text fades in as well. I'll probably have that like slide in or something and have a little bit of rumble when it lands, something like that to make it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, some nice little UI changes here and there. But that being said, let's go ahead and crack open the demo build. I kind of forgot I can just play it on Steam. I don't really play it a whole lot on Steam, but I do have it installed. So let's boot that sucker up. Gonna have to mute some of the music as well, because I've heard it. Let me tell you, some of the speedrunners that complained about hearing some of these songs too much. If they've heard these songs too much, I have heard these songs too much. I've heard them plenty in the development timeline. There we go. Now you guys can actually see the game. Okay, there we go. Manual prepared. So all our settings are good. Just turn the music audio down. Let's turn the sound effects volume down too. There we go. Now we should have a nice balanced audio experience. Let me tab back over to that node setup. Okay. Yeah, Next Fest, baby. Let's go. Okay. So let's just start by visiting the good old tutorials. So these are things I've played plenty of times. And by the way, since today is pretty chill, at least for now, we're just mostly here to celebrate, enjoy the fruits of our labor. This will also be a good time for Q&A stuff, so if you guys got any questions about the game you're curious about, or I guess more long-term stuff, feel free to fire away. And I'm a little out of practice with some of these levels because I haven't been playing them much. Okay, but forget I said that. Voltaic plus first try. We're goated. Hey Ethan, good to see you. Feel like it's been quite a while. I think last time you were here I didn't have the lights, so I was still in the dark. I downloaded the demo and proceeded to never play it. All right, you should definitely fix that. Okay, first level down. So first thing we're gonna do is just run through, beat everything on Voltaic plus, and then we'll do a little grinding to get those speedrun times down. What am I doing? I don't need to do this. What am I, stupid? Don't answer that. Good. Easy peasy. Something that was funny is somebody who's in the chat, who was in the chat frequently, named 2Multiplied. He made a video on this, and a point he brought up was that there's a pretty big difficulty disparity between how easy and how hard excuse me, some levels are to get a Voltaic Plus ranking on, and I think a lot of that is just a routing difference, because I mean, obviously I'm a little biased because I played the game, but I think the big distinction, what makes a level easy to get the rank on or hard to get the rank on, is how hidden the route is. I think this one's relatively, like, whoop. You kind of have to actually try for this one compared to the other tutorials, which are pretty free as long as you have a half-decent route down. Route? Yeah. Probably the tutorials might be getting some visual changes. I know I'm definitely going to be adding some background props. And that'll be something to discuss, actually, today. There's a lot of things that are getting visual tweaks and reworks. Some things don't really need anything major, but a lot of areas just kind of need some subtle work done, which I think will make a really good difference overall. Alright, speaking of routes, I gotta actually remember what my routes are, and then also do them while talking, which, probably not gonna be super easy, if I had to guess. We'll get it, though. We'll get it. I remember liking to do this here. Talking about this as if I didn't make this. That should be it, right? Yeah. Easy peasy. I miss Dark Seth. I miss Game Boy Cam Seth. Well, I want to have the slightly nicer camera, but we do have the option to return to the Stone Ages at any given time. And considering updating / making a new version of the game sometime in the future, adding levels and stuff, that would really depend on reception, I think. Like, if there's enough people, like, who really enjoy it, then I could definitely see myself doing, like, either an extra difficulty, like an interesting extra difficulty, not just, you know, it would have to be something interesting, but something like that. Additional levels, like challenge pack levels, would be interesting. That's something I could see myself doing. Quality of life changes and bug fixes for sure. No, like, cool bugs I'm gonna get rid of. Like, one bug that gets exploited a lot. Ozzy mentioning people speedrunning the demos, and one of the funniest glitches you can do is, if you see right there, your hand is visible very briefly, because the game loads the hand in by default, and I've just sort of done a weird roundabout way of coding it, where basically what it'll do is it will load your hand in, and then on specific levels, it then deloads your hand, which is easier, basically. And there's a pretty simple fix for it, but I don't do it because, well, at first I didn't even really notice that this was a thing that could happen, but now people have found out that you can use this as a glitch you can actually exploit. So if you save this beforehand, then you can place that right when you land to get, like, some speed skips. Which is why I'm not gonna patch that out now, because it's really weird and very janky, but kind of cool. So, in it stays. Okay, pretty quick and easy tutorials, all Voltaic. And in case you're relatively new to the community, you probably wouldn't know that this stage has gone through quite its fair evolution. This stage used to be an entirely different one. And I think that'll be something we do probably closer to launch, maybe even as, like, a launch day celebration, I think that would be fun to go through all of the past like public builds and some of the private builds and stuff too that I just sent to like friends for playtesting. Just going through those, looking at old assets, just giving the whole game a real analysis, seeing how things have evolved. But this level in particular is basically unrecognizable from where it used to be, which I think is pretty much for the better. Not that this was a bad level, it was just kind of not great, especially as like an introductory stage. It kind of didn't really do a lot of what it would need to do. Oh, okay, he'll die eventually. There we go. Okay, kind of a rough run. I will not be playing my best today, full disclosure, because I'm chatting and yapping the whole time, just throwing my game off. Void Collector 2. I do want to make a Void Collector sequel. Like, I've already got a lot of ideas for what I would do with that. Obviously I won't share anything, but a Void Collector sequel is probable, regardless of how this game does. I mentioned the case of multiplayer Void Collector. I do have ideas. I miss not seeing your face. That's fucked up. Difficulty called mitosis, and every enemy has 2 now. That's like a very Doom-esque difficulty. Like that's the difficulty setting they put in like a 90s PC shooter. Hey, player, how's it hanging? 2 Void, 2 Collector. Yeah, so you mentioned multiplayer Void Collector. Again, not to get hopes up, because this is not something that would ever happen soon. Like this would be years off. But I do have a lot of ideas for what I would do with a multiplayer Void Collector. Shit. And it's also sick. It'd be very weird and unique, and I would, I look forward to maybe making that eventually. Oh, right, I keep hitting invert. I just need to do that, and then invert. But, even when I'm not talking, I'm fucking it up. This level is one of my favorites to run. It is just a very, very fun route. And this is what a lot of the last 2 months or so of development are going to be. Because most of the game is pretty much done at this point. There's not a whole lot left that can really be done. So everything is going to be fine-tuning and tweaking to get all the levels. Why have you been double-shotting me? That's weird of you. I don't like that you do that. But yeah, a lot of the last-second stuff is going to be those little small tweaks to make every single level stronger, which will really help bring the game up to that next level. Thanks for the $10, Mom. How's it going? You're up there. There's a little conversation we had the other day. What even is the story of Void Collector anyway? Okay, so there's a guy. His name is Bourguignon, which is a French beef. But we call him B for short, because that's easier. And he's got this long family lineage called the Void Hunters, which is a thing they've assigned themselves, where their whole goal is to hunt down the Void Collector, which is this mysterious entity that wakes up and eats a bunch of stuff and then goes back to sleep. And I guess I'm saying a lot more than normal, because the game is pretty close, and a lot of these details you can find already in the demo via the memorabilia. But basically, this is a person whose whole goal it is to wait for this thing to show up and then kill it. So you are inside of the collector, and your goal is to take all of this knowledge that your family has accumulated over time and use it to kill the big old bad guy. And there's a lot of other little lore tidbits and story pieces here and there that you can collect. There will be an intro and ending like story sequence. I'm still figuring out exactly what form those are gonna take, but they will be there. They will be present. I can guarantee you that much. Yeah, and this is something else I wanna overhaul how this system works a little bit, mostly visually. But I like having the sort of mastery thing in place and making a more dedicated like achievement system is definitely something I'm gonna be doing as well. Climb and Clamber is slightly luck-based due to the fact the windmill has the chance to block your way at the end. I guess that is a possibility, yeah. Maybe I'll adjust that. I don't like that you do that. My brother request you coded it. Well, the problem is that I coded it, but he's not supposed to do that. I don't like that he does that because I didn't want him to do that. The double shot isn't... when he shoots and then immediately shoots again, that's not supposed to happen. You renamed him to Charlie. No. Sorry for cursing in front of your mom. It's fine. I curse all the time on here. Hey, Eliza Lark, how's it hanging? So the main character is not the Void Collector. No, the Void Collector is where the game is. This whole place is the Void Collector. My guy's the Void Killer, essentially. He wants the Void dead. Void Killer is also kind of a cool cool name for it too. Which I think this is probably the optimal here. I don't even know if you need that. You can just do that and then boost there. I think it'd be faster if I used you, son of a bitch. I think it'd be faster if I used Fling there, actually. I'm gonna have to remember the route for this stage. It's been so long since I ran it that I've completely forgotten my own strats. And this is one that's probably gonna get a harder Voltaic time. I think the current time to get Voltaic is a little bit easy, and I want it to be a bit trickier. You see. One thing I'm going to be doing is, across the board, generally, potents are going to become easier to get, while Voltaics are probably going to stay about the same difficulty they are, or maybe even get a little harder, because generally I want Voltaics to be, like, a true, like, test of your skill and mastery, although maybe I can make them a little easier, since I'll probably be adding in dev times as well. I don't think this will be a separate rank or anything, because if I make it a separate rank, too many people might want to go for it, and I think that beating times that are going to be that strict might not be very fun for a lot of people, so might not make it like a super obvious tracked thing, but it can just be, you know, something that's there in case you do want to go for it. Yeah, this level's got a pretty generous Voltaic, which I think I would want to make it a little bit harder. I think right now it's like, I think it's like a 2-minute threshold, so it's generous. Too generous. I just bought the Collectors of the Void DLC. What is that DLC called? Risk of Rain 2 DLC. Survivors of the Void. Okay. Whew! Thought I was in danger there. You should have a speedrun mode where the player dies immediately if they run out of combo. That is a funny concept. I am thinking about doing a full game speedrun mode where it basically would just like... Well, not a speedrun mode, but it'll basically be a timer. Like, you'd have a timer that tracks your total time as well. I'll probably be doing that. I think that'll be a good addition for players who care about speedrunning the entire thing and not just individual levels, which I imagine will be some people. Yeah, and other things like that, because this game is very, very clearly a speedrun-focused and inspired project. So I think catering to the speedy folk is a good strategy. Ah, damn it. That was a waste of meter. I'm going to be doing also some, probably pretty late in the game, weapon rebalances. I'm going to be doing some pretty experimental changes, like right before the first big round of playtesting begins, to make certain weapons have a little bit more of a niche, because I think, still as it is right now, the good old 1-2 pistol-shotgun combo is a little bit too powerful. Works kind of just the best in a lot of situations, which can make fighting some enemies feel kind of samey, so giving some weapons greater niches and fighting a greater variety of enemies is something I really want to lean into. Like, the Fling Bomb is probably going to get some reworks. I think it's not in a bad spot right now, but it still feels pretty niche. I think the Rock-On might deal damage right when you, like, start doing a charge to give that some kind of, like, also damaging utility and make that a good, like, close-range finishing option to put it in competition with just the pistol. Get away from me! That's going to be something I definitely would like to try. Yeah, got a lot of ideas for how to make some other weapons useful. Like maybe the sniper could have like a shield piercing ability, so that way it could like snipe Sheila's shields. Although, probably not. That makes that maybe a little too powerful in a specific niche. So we'll see. None of these ideas are super set in stone. It's gonna be a very experimental time for the game, to be sure. A lot of ideas to throw around and try. Kind of got off cycle there. Gotcha. Dumbass. Mediocre! In my own game? Pacemaker? That's a good idea for a name. Speedrunners will just kill themselves if they run out anyway, so it's easier. Pacifist mode, where if you kill anything, you die immediately. That would be impossible, because the whole game is about killing stuff. Is Jeb in the title screen? No, he isn't, but he should be. Okay, well I gotta prove that I'm a real gamer and that I can get the good times on my own video game. Prove I'm not a fraud. I don't even remember what the times are. I mean, I know they're in the hub world. You can go see them at any time. Which is also something I might make a little easier to access. We will see on that. Yeah, like right there, the fling is good, but I think maybe the biggest issue with the fling is just that it's kind of hard to like access in a pinch. You gotta go pretty far out of your way for it, even if it is useful. I think right here maybe is not a... No, that's because these guys are too far away. Might be something worth doing to move more enemies close together to give both fling and detonate a little bit more just general full game use. Because right now they're a little bit too niche, I'd say, where they kind of are only really that great in times where you need crowd control, but there's also not a lot of places where you really would want to use crowd control. So by both making crowd control a little bit more useful and maybe giving them stronger niches outside of that would be a good thing for the health of some of the weapon balance. I think that was even worse. No, okay, wait, no, that was better. That was better. Okay. At least half the player base is going to think Jeb's an enemy and try to shoot them. That is true. That is also something that happens right now, though, is that people will see Jeb and then try to shoot him. This has been an exact note I've gotten from 2 different playtesters, where they've said, I see the jellyfish guy and I think it's an enemy, so I try to shoot him, and that's kind of confusing, but at the same time, I like him, so I don't get rid of him. And like that has been verbatim what I've gotten from 2 different people. So we are left with a real conundrum. Don't know what to do with our good buddy Jeb. Whoops, that was the wrong direction entirely. What did I even set as the time for this? 45 seconds. No, I was looking wrong. Minute 25. Wait, I got a minute. Oh, I got a minute 25 exactly. I didn't get under a minute 25. Drat. Something I've kind of thought about is potentially delisting or making a new version, rather not delisting it, making a new version of the demo. Once actually might be a good strat there is to block Slapmo. Is that where he walks into that? Nah, that didn't work. I guess maybe even having more weapons that have like injured, whatever. But yeah, with the demo, I might make a new version of it. Just when we're a little closer to the end, so it's got a more updated, finalized version of the demo, I guess. But I wonder if that's something that'd be even really worth doing. Like, would it be, like I could do that, or would it be more interesting to like keep? I guess for the sake of a demo, you'd want it to be as close to the finished product as possible, but I kind of like the idea of, like, preserving the history of the different versions of the game. Like, being able to distinctly see the different eras and, like, changes that the game went through over time. I think that sort of thing is really cool. So I'm not necessarily in a rush to, get rid of stuff like that. It's like even though there's a lot of problems with it, I'm never gonna like delist or get rid of the itch.io demo. I'll probably mark it as like outdated or something so people don't get the wrong impression. But I like having the, I like having the different eras publicly accessible. I think that's, it makes just the whole thing feel a little bit more, I don't know, it lets you see the whole development journey more publicly, I guess. And I think that's something that is very cool. I like it. I should definitely also be, instead of spending a bird early on, I should be using a detonator line up there. Damn, you were falling forever, dude. I did not mean to send your ass to the Shadow Realm. Oh, you didn't get in that, you slow son of a bitch. You slow son of a bitch. I wonder if it'd be worth adding, like, a UI element that says, like, next time to beat. So, like, it says what the, like, your current rank, and then, like, what time you need to get to beat that rank. Something like that. Maybe. I'm definitely not gonna beat my, beat the voltaic time on this, by the way. No, I shot the ground. I'm a fool. Give Jeb an animation where he looks really bouncy. Maybe. Make Jeb 3D. You could have a special outline or something. Could have some particles. Give Jeb a nice expensive dinner for his good work. These are good ideas. Sorry, I got locked in. I got too focused on speedrunning and then I didn't read chat for like 20 minutes. I've only been streaming for 26 minutes, so really lets you know how far out of daytime. Oh yeah. So I mentioned this before, and I'll keep bringing it up until somebody finally suggests some good ideas or better ideas. I want to do more community engagement stuff. So different things that'd be fun, kind of community events for people to participate in. And that could be like, an art contest could be one thing. I know I really want to host a game jam at some point. Because somebody brought that up, and I think that'd be a really fun community event. And obviously, that wouldn't be like Seth Newland themed or Void Collector themed. It would just be a general game jam. But I think that'd be a whole lot of fun to do. But yeah, I think like some sort of like different incentives to go for. Maybe it could even be something simple and stupid like, oh, if some XYZ happens, then Seth has to wear a funny hat. It doesn't got to be anything super insane, but just fun sort of community-centered stuff. Maybe even like putting it up to a community poll or something. I went the wrong way. Okay, this is a much better run. This might be the winner. Might be the one. Oh, okay. I fumbled it. I fumbled it all at the last second. Add a battle pass. Good idea. Kind of funny how Bouncer and Jeb do the same thing, but Bouncer is an enemy. Yeah, Bouncer's an enemy in, like, loose terms. He's not, like, a good guy, but he's chill. He's just kind of chill as fuck like that, I mentioned this probably once. If I said it once, I've said it a million times, to the point where some of the regulars are probably sick and tired of hearing it. But it's a good sign when you're having fun playing your own game. That is like the first sign that you are onto something. Is when you just have a lot of fun playing it. And I have a lot of fun playing this game. I keep going the wrong way and forget my own dang route. Shit. No. I'm fumbling. I'm lost. Shit. Holy. Yeah, I have still juice left somehow. This is not a good run, though. Oh, I didn't mean to boost there. Shit. No. We keep getting to those last builds and dropping it. I would do anything to make Seth wear a silly hat. That would be yeah, I don't even know what like the goals would be. Like, because I don't really want to do like donation requests or anything. Like, I don't want to be like, if you guys donate $1 billion, then I will wear a funny hat. You know, I want that to be the case. I want there to be some sort of like fun, stupid shit that could be done where it's like, I don't know, if, like a change.org petition or something. I think that'd be like a funny way of doing that sort of thing. Shit. Fuck. Balls. I know, like, it's like one of those, like, common sort of streamer, like, incentives you see is like, oh, dye my hair. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that one's not gonna happen. And that's the problem. I've been struggling to find, like, ride the line of, like, what's something that I would actually want to do that people would care enough to do something to see happen, but that I would also do willingly. I don't know. Anyways, enough talking about yapping about goals and shit. Let's keep gaming. Yeah, actually, let's do a little discussion on Void Collector the current trajectory of the game and expectations about when stuff is gonna happen. So I believe I had mentioned before the plan was for the game to come out in April, and for reasons I will not yet disclose, that is looking extremely positive. We are definitely going to be able to get this thing done by then. So April is the release month. I have got a pretty good idea of the release date locked in. I will be saving that one for a later date. But that is something I've figured out. So what that means is, considering most of everything else for the game is done, we're going to be spending quite a lot of time really nailing stuff down. And that means doing some UI changes, and I've actually got some of those that I can show off a little later in today's stream. So stick around if you want to see that. That's going to be all sorts of small tweaks, making every level just feel that little extra bit better to play. And also, that guy, somebody commented on this level being really hard to get a Voltaic Plus on. And let me tell you, being out of practice, it is way harder to get a Voltaic Plus on than I remember. Ooh, that's a good strat right there. Get jammed between them and use the Steve Strike bomb. You gotta be on your fucking A game for this, which, personally, that's generally what I'd like, but for the third level in the game, it's probably a little excessive for how difficult it is. So maybe we'll lighten the difficulty of this one a little bit, but keep the other ones at a pretty high intensity like this. You know, get a good difficulty curve of how difficult things are. Okay, hold on. This might be the run. I'm just gonna tank his shit. Woo! Let's go, baby. I'm goated. Ow. You can shave your awesome stash. Well, I don't have a stash right now. It's yeah, it's stubbly at the moment. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, shooting a shield to drain some of your juice. That's funny. The game have multiple endings? No, it's just got one. I thought about different endings, but I thought they would be kind of redundant. Wouldn't be super essential. We'll see. Evil Team Cherry be like, after April I can finally see the robot game concept. That's true. That's something I've been working on. Or ideating on, rather. Okay. We're goated. Wait, no, wait. Hold on. We don't want to go down yet. We got one more level to do. Crank that. Shit. This level is very funny and very dumb. Might be one of the worst levels in the game or one of the best levels in the game, and I'm not sure which one it is. But it is one of those two, and there is no binary. Although I might have just V+'d it on my first shot. Okay, yep. We're goated with the sauce. Alright, look at that. 35 minutes. We got ourselves a healthy batch of V+'s, because we are goated. We're built differently. Okay, well, that'll do for the celebration portion of today's stream. Yeah, that's, me turn this guy off real quick, turn that guy off real quick, and we'll go back on over to Unreal. We can show you guys some of the stuff I've been working on, that I'm very excited to showcase. But I guess brief thing. Thank you very much to everybody who's played the demo. We've cracked, I think, 6K installs or 6K redemptions. Like, people have added the demo to their library, which is really cool. So, and also we're at. Let me check to see if the numbers changed. No, we're sitting at 20 reviews on Steam right now, and all of them are positive. So we are ballin'. Yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate all the support, especially as we're winding down, as we're getting close to this ding-dang thing coming out. But, Unreal. That was all us. True. That was all you guys. Okay, so, title screen. It's got some differences. The old logo used to fade in, used to fade out. Now we've got a little bit more pizzazz. Look, the logo slams down, a little bit more sauce to it now. We're rolling in it. And then, yeah, we showed this at the start of the stream. We got a click to start thing, which makes it feel a little bit more professional. And you click on that, boom, logo comes in. You might notice the logo is actually different than how it used to be, and that is a very deliberate change. I've made some reworks to a lot of the UI elements, specifically getting rid of the black outlines on a lot of the UI elements and replacing them with still having outlines, but having outlines that are reminiscent of the color they currently are, so like just a darker tone. And that was done for a couple of reasons. Primarily to help give the UI, help distinguish it a little bit more from the gameplay. Not that the two really bleed together, but everything else has very thick black outlines, so I think giving the UI a slightly different style helps to distinguish it. And we can show some of the UI elements here, just by running in. Oh, yeah, because it scaled up weird because of the... Yeah. Like, we just go to the hub, and we can see, yeah, Brain and Juice are looking a little different. Not crazy different, but they're different. If we go to, like, Void Core, you can see the other elements up here are different. I think the combo meter and juice meter need a little bit higher contrast because they can kind of blend in a little bit. So I think maybe making the purple, like the background purple darker, and making the background red a little darker, I think that would probably be enough to help make those stand out a little bit more. But it's a subtle change, but I really like what it adds. I think it just makes the UI look a little bit slicker. It helps it stand out a little more. Helps everything feel just that touch bit more unified. So let's go run over to a stage that we can finish nice and quick, because I've also redone the icons for the rankings. And these, I think, are pretty darn slick looking. Oh, okay, that's not supposed to happen. But, bada bing, bada boom. Looks pretty much the same for the most part. But I made everything slightly more exaggerated, so there's more harsh angles and slightly like more saturated color. Watch out that your brain's gonna blow. Hey, Eraser Space, how's it hanging? Is the hub design final? So there's definitely gonna be some like retexturing and stuff. Like some areas I think need it. Like when you see these like big long masses of just like flat texture, I don't really like how those look, so I'm probably going to be doing some bits and pieces to either add some subtle slopes to give it more depth, or adding some texture variation, like maybe little outcroppings here and there, so that way these large flat sections don't feel quite as flat. So that sort of thing's going to happen, and I'm going to add some extra background elements, One of the things I'm working on right now is going around and adding in new background props to every single world. Why are you not open? Oh, because I didn't beat a tutorial level. Let's go do that real quick to get the boards off the door. Yeah, one of the things I'm going to be doing is adding in a bunch of props to the backgrounds, extra things here and there to really make the levels stand out a little bit more. I'm going to be changing the color of all the skyboxes so that each level has a slightly different like color in sky and weather in some cases, just to help make it, stick apart a little bit better. It's like if we go to first level of Windmillionaire here. Oh, that's still called up and up. Oh, yeah. So, funny thing I didn't realize is that the hub world is still, like, built as if this was the first build of the game. Like, I forgot to update things. Like, this is still... It says 3 buildings, but I think that's still Big Windmill. So, some things need to be shuffled and renamed and stuff to fit the newer demo. Oh, no, it still is up and up. Shit, I forgot to fix this. That's very funny. I need to fix that for sure. If we go here... yeah, you can see, like, in the background, there's some, like, windmill buildings. And this isn't the extent of it. I'm going to add some extra stuff here and there, too, and maybe add some windmill blades to them to help add to it. But every world is going to get some kind of visual overhaul like this, either with color tweaking to make each stage have something unique, and adding extra props and stuff. So that's going to be a big thing I'm doing. And once I've done that, then I'll be adding those same props to the hub world and stuff into the final world as well. So that way everything feels nice and cohesive. You know, like one good... complete unit. I think I might have changed the skybox here. No, I didn't. Okay. Actually, I think I made it slightly bluer. I believe Kick the Card Counter is the one I made a little bit more vibrant. Yeah, it's like a deeper purple now. And like maybe I'll add like a little bit of thunder too, because it's a boss stage. That sort of thing. And yeah, these buildings are all sloped off to the sides. Fun background stuff. Also, I don't think I said hello yet by name, Sand. So, hello, Sand. Name my pet Ant Voltaic Plus. Name my pet Dust Particulate Mediocre. The Void revamp update is real. I did notice, I haven't played it, because I think I'm going to wait, but I saw the Ultra Kill got an update, where a bunch of the visuals and stuff got redone from like earlier parts of the game. And I think at this point, I'm just going to wait till the whole game is done before I play anymore, because I mean, we're probably still a couple of years off, but I just want to wait. But I think it's very funny that right when Ultra Kill does a visual update, like I start working on my own visual update, which is very funny, because a lot of people like to say, like to call this game an Ultra Kill-alike, which, yeah, I mean, they're not entirely wrong. They're partially wrong, but they're not completely wrong. Sorry, I just got locked in, playing the game again. Okay, so I do have some things that I wanted to do, and that was mostly some polish stuff, and that would be, if we go back to the hub level, and I'm gonna quickly eat a small amount of mini M&Ms. Okay. A little pick-me-up snack midstream. Okay. Okay, so a couple of things I've been thinking. Right here needs to be like a little altar thing that you power up as you collect void power in the top left, and that's also something that'll be explained in an intro sequence that I still have yet to program. So I need to make that as well. But yeah, right here, thinking is where we're gonna put that shrine. Points up to this thing, and when you have enough void power, you stand into it, either punch into the ceiling, or like it shoots a giant laser or something, and then blows a hole open in this section so that you can actually get up. Either that or just teleports you inside if I can't figure out how to make that work. See, it would need more maneuverability to be an Ultra Kill like. Ultra Kill is a Void Collector like. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So let's make a cool little design for our altar. And you know what? Let's actually grab all of these fellas, which we're going to be using for main guy's house, which we'll do in a little later. So we'll just pull it off to the side here, so that we can figure out what we want to do with that later. Gotta go due to the melatonin took 3 seconds ago. All right, well, rest well, soldier. Okay, let's make ourselves an altar that will pierce the heavens. Okay, start with a square base, because we always start with squares in this. Am I stupid, or is the mastery sign not in the hub? It is not. And that is mostly because I'm going to rework that a little bit. It won't be too dissimilar, but instead of just showing you your times, it'll also have like a dedicated achievements list. So that'll be things like beating a stage on Voltaic, plus beating a stage on Unreasonable, maybe even a combination of the two, and then some extra doodads here and there. Extra achievements for, like, collecting all the doodads in the hub world, or beat the entire game under X amount of time. That kind of thing. Okay, so yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go ahead and do 11, 12. Hey, Mr. Jonas. I haven't missed a whole ton. I've done some visual changes to the UI, so you can see it looks a little different down there. Still pretty similar, but it's not the thick black outlines anymore, because I'm trying to save that for the gameplay elements and keep the UI elements, give them a slightly different visual identity. And then I did a bunch of speedrunning, just chatting about the game's future, and I've settled on a release date as well. I have not said what that release date is yet, because I want to reveal it with like probably a fun trailer or something. But I know what day the game is coming out, and I'm also very confident that I will actually hit it. Also, I just realized something else I want to do here. If we do this, actually, how are we gonna get that to be a nice even slope? How are we gonna get that to mesh? You know, how are we gonna get that to smooth together? So if we, I always forget how I did this, because it's not hard. I just cannot for the life of me remember how I do it. It's literally that. It's literally that. We're good. Look at that. Now we got a nice smooth pedestal to work with. Then we can. Whoops, that's not the right direction. In the slightest. Whoops. And grab this whole section here. Pull you back in. Oh, you don't have a slope there. That's why that's not working. There we go. Now we got a pedestal, full pedestal. And then, now we gotta work on the design of the thing itself. So what I'm picturing is some place for the player to stand in the middle, and then these bits that come around it that will sort of like channel the power and then shoot a big beam up into the sky, or launch the player up into the sky. Probably launch the player, actually, because that sounds funnier. Some sort of message, too, like, the Void Heart is now open, or the Void Core is now open. Right, it's Void Core, final boss of the Void Heart. I like when the outline is a darker version of the color inside the outline. That's good. I was curious if people would like that change or not, but I think it looks nicer. It just looks a little more cohesive, is the word. And I feel, especially as a guy who's getting a graphic design degree in about 2 months, I should make sure my graphic design looks good. Although making a poster design is very different than making a menu design, and that is for damn sure. Let's make this about this tall. Ooh, wait, it's not a perfect square. I was gonna do like this sort of thing. Okay, real quick. We're gonna have to adjust the pedestal just ever so slightly. we're just gonna pull it over here by one extra thing. So that way we've got, yeah, we got 3, 3, 3. There we go. That'll be centered. There we are. Speaking of graduating and graphic design degrees, we recently finished up one of our projects in one of my classes, and I'm glad that one's over with, because it involved like a physical building component, and I am so bad at building stuff. Like, just comically bad at making things that look well made in a 3D plane. But whatever, that's done with. And I now have a total of 2 projects left. Just as a college student, I've got 2 projects left, and then I'm graduating. Which is weird. I'm not... At the same time, I'm like, I'm ready to graduate, and I'm excited for it. But on the other hand, it's like, hey, it's scary. It's scary actually needing to, you know, graduate and shit, and then be on my own, pretty much. Like, I'm not, I can't just be like, oh, I'm in college. You know, not that I've been sitting on my, rest on my laurels here. You know, been hard at work on good old VC here. But, yeah, we are dangerously close to needing to be an actual adult. Instead of pretending. Gonna have to pay bills and shit. Pay rent and shit. Not the most exciting thing. But what is exciting is, ooh, look at this little pedestal. Wowza. Oh wait, shit, it's misaligned. Damn it. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4 out. So if we go from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there we go. Is this too wide? Now it's too wide. Shit. Okay, now we gotta redo the pedestal one more time. This is the last time, though, I promise. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, hold on. Okay, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There we go. That's what we're looking for. I think. Yeah, okay. That's it. Then we can crop that back. Okay. We're good. The brain text looks so shiny and it tickles my brain. That's funny. New UI is cool, but I don't know if I'd be able to read the new Voltaic Plus design if I didn't already know what it said. Yeah, the purple, I think, could maybe afford to be a bit higher contrast. Because it's the same layout as the, it's the same layout as the old Voltaic Plus. Like, it's the same shapes. It's mostly just the colors are different, and it's slightly more exaggerated and a little bit more angular. So if the old one is readable but this one's not, then I think that's probably just a contrast problem. So I can make either the dark purple darker and the light purple lighter, that sort of thing. Just to give it, you know, that extra bit of readability. Oh shit, we got Un Ultra Appassionato from Like a Dragon Gaiden. Very fun game. I'm a big Yakuza head. And I'm a little sad I don't have money to get the new Pirate Yakuza game. Because I spent the last chunk of my saving money, or my spending money, for a while on Monster Hunter Wilds. Because I played the beta for that and it was very, very fun. Really excited to play that with some friends. Because it's coming out this Friday. Very excited for that. But if anybody wants to donate $50 or $60 real quick so I can go buy the Pirate Yakuza game, be very appreciated. That is a joke. Do not do that. I don't think anybody here has that kind of money to throw away, but even if you were, don't. Graduating means you have to graduate. Maybe it should be an option to turn off the boulder outline on or off, like for the UI. I mean, it's always had an outline. It's just different color. Glad to see that repeated resizing something that must be done in all mediums. Very true. Damn, I hate having to graduate. I'd say the teleporter from Risk 2. It is Risk of Rain 2 teleporter. I didn't even... That was not on purpose, but it is kind of the same-ass thing, yeah. I'm not changing it. We're rolling with it. And then I'm gonna put some little doodads on the corners. I realized I use the word doodad a lot. That's like one of my go-to placeholder words if I don't really know what to call something. I just say like a doodad. Which personally I think is pretty good. I think that's like an excellent filler word. You know what? I think we should make these a little taller. We'll try maybe like two or three height ones in the back, and then 1 or 2 height ones in the front. That's what I'm thinking. That's what my brain is telling me would be a good idea. Give it a good old accept. Yeah, I like how that looks. Doesn't really obstruct the sightline too much. You can still see through it and around it, but it immediately will, I think, catch your eye, especially if you spawn in. Yeah, it's right there in the corner of your vision. Especially if we put like something glowy here to sort of signal that you need void power to activate it. I think it'll pretty naturally lead the eye to it and help the player recognize that it's something that's pretty important. I'll donate my $0. Yeah. Something that is very funny is... I think I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. My YouTube ad revenue is not particularly high. I didn't make a whole lot of money off... Oh, okay. Thanks for the $1, Ozzy. Appreciate it. Get that game? Yeah, now we got... that's the last little bit I needed. Let's go! What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. But I don't usually make a whole lot in ad revenue, because my primary demographic is largely 13 to 27-year-old dudes. Like that's the vast majority of the audience. Which what that means is like my audience is largely similar to myself, in that most of us are broke as shit. So my ad revenue is low because everybody in my audience has like no money to spend, so we've got like the least expensive possible like ad vote. So if you're like me, we are worth very little to the YouTube gods, which is fucked up. They don't like us. They hate us. They hate our guts. But I don't really care. I'm not, the ad revenue is cool and all, but it's, I'm not trying to be a YouTuber. I'm trying to be a game developer who does YouTube and streams, right? Like, that's not... Making a little bonus money off of YouTube is cool, but that's not, I'm hoping to make the brunt of the money off the game, because that's the thing I want to do the most. Anyways, thanks again. Thank you again, Ozzy. Appreciate it. Very epic. I'm going to hit you with a like. 27-year-olds are not watching funny finger game devlogs. You would be surprised. There are even larger than the percentage of... Because you get the demographic split into 12 to 13... Or not 12 to 13. 13 to 17, 18 to like 24, I think. And then like 24 to 32. Or something like that. And the amount of 24 to 30-something is larger than the 13 to 17. That's a larger percentage of my audience. Which is surprising. Now... I'm not blind. I think that there are certainly people who will lie about what their age is. But regardless, I expected a greater percentage of younger members of the audience for sure. We must unionize as broke people. That's a good idea. We gotta... Who do we rise against? We're all broke. What do we pool our resources towards? Well, we don't have resources. It's a problem. It's kind of hard to do anything if you don't have cash to splash. Okay, so something I've been thinking about is, where does Main Man's house go? And I don't really know where Main Man House go. I've been thinking maybe what we could do is, like, carve out a little hole here where he'd live. So there's, like, a little hidden passageway that leads to his home, but I don't really want to make it hidden, really. I would definitely prefer if it's, you know, visible. Accessible. Obviously accessible. Let's just get rid of this real quick, so I'm not going to need that wall anymore. We can move these guys up pretty soon. We must use against Void Collector. Not against! Must rise against expensive stuff by stealing it. Okay, now we're talking. Cash to slash. God, that's a phrase, and you start saying that instantly. It feels like a very old phrase to say. I catch myself doing that shit, right? I talk like I'm 400. Like I'll say like I'll use some like really overly eloquent frickin' convoluted vernacular in one sentence where it's like excessively formal and like well thought out and erudite and shit, and then I'll say like just the dumbest thing you've heard in your entire life immediately like one sentence after, and there's like such a violent ping-ponging of going back and forth all the time with very little smoothness in between. I love the protagonist's baby. I like her design a lot. I like that picture a lot, just generally. I'm pretty pleased with that. Probably one of my favorite pieces of memorabilia. What was I doing? I'm keeping distracted and running around. Okay, so we need to figure out a place to put the protagonist's little hut. And I'm not exactly sure where I want that to be. A lot of different places that could be. Ideally, it would be fairly close by. So maybe what we could do is sort of close the gap here, tear down this section, and then have this like extended out a little bit as like a dedicated like tutorials and collectible locations and like the home, that sort of thing. So you could have those sort of centralized in one kind of obvious location, but still making it feel kind of separate from everything else would probably be good. And it's so relatable, but the mixing of wise and profound and dumb as fuck. So it's creating his own dialect of English. YouTube crashed? That's weird. How did B enter the Void Collector? Well, that's something that'll probably be actually covered in the game's introduction sequence, funnily enough. But, well, not funnily enough. That's, yeah, no, that of course it's gonna be an intro sequence, or else would it be? What I mean is, you will see that pretty much right away. But the idea is that the Void Collector itself is very, very strong, and the only way that you can really take it down is by clambering around inside of it and attacking its heart directly, which is why you go inside in the first place, because you're getting in there to get in the core and cause some damage. Hey, go play outside. Hope you're having a good day. In case anyone's not reading chat, that is somebody's name. I didn't tell them to go outside. Well, going outside is actually, I don't know what the weather's like where you guys are, but for me, over in Indy, let me tell you, great. We're getting like 50-degree days, 60-degree days, all of a sudden out of nowhere. We're just bombarded with months and months and months of like 10-degree weather, and then all of a sudden it's just like I can just wear like a t-shirt outside. It's fantastic. Why does the Void Collector have a casino inside him? Because he ate it. That's where all the things are. And I should say, that's why she has a casino inside her. Because she ate it. And that is relevant. I won't explain why that's relevant, but it is relevant. That is an important factoid. Okay, so we got this sort of bit here. How exactly do we want to lay this out? out. Because I think kind of the problem is that this whole section is kind of just here and taking up a lot of room. I think what we might want to do is just shift everything over a little bit. So if we grab... fortunately, I've segmented everything out into folders, so I can pretty smoothly move everything that's associated together. Except those doodads. Yeah. I mean, the doodads are gonna need a whole... That's gonna be a week-long effort, I think, is getting the doodads sorted out and getting their finalized locations in. Yeah, we'll just tuck this a little further back against this corner here. Give us a little bit more room to play with. Yeah, that'll help make this whole bit feel less cramped. Although now it does kind of jet out a little bit too far. I guess we could extend the hub world platform itself out a little. Yeah, we could extend that backwards so that this has a little more room to breathe. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that. And this is what we're going to be doing a lot, or what I'm going to be doing a lot for the next 2 months, is a lot of this sort of really fine-tuning, small, like, important stuff, but small stuff. The little things that that help bring the game up, you know? That last percentage point to make this shit sick as hell. Those little touches that really show that you care, you know? Little bit of extra sauce. Okay, so we can pull this guy backwards. Back into this corner. Make sure it's not falling off the edge there. There we go. Okay. Now that feels like we've got a lot more room to breathe, a lot more room to work with. Those dangerous dang doodads, those dangerous dads. I assume they also ate a ski lodge, a clock, and a train yard? They did, they ate all of those things. Funny thing is that the hell area is not actually hell, it's a volcano. That's why there's fire and lava rock everywhere, it's because she ate a big chunk of a volcano. Is that Cuphead music? It is. Kept working on Slayer Skater again. Gonna spray can boss. Nice. Where did Ski Lodge go? Oh, suspiciously Ski Lodge shaped belly. Stop focusing on what's going on. I'm just jamming out the Cuphead music. Fair. A fair response. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Oh, yeah. But the gist of the Void Collector is that it basically goes in periods of hibernation and eating, where the cells are also, I haven't said this anywhere yet, I don't think, but the cells are the people who were, god dang it, I keep forgetting this isn't the, you know what, we're just gonna fix that. Alright, we're fixing that right now. Level 1 revamp is what it should be called, right? Yeah. Oh no, 1 revamp. There. But yeah, the cells are essentially what's left of the people that got eaten by the Climb and Clamber, that were eaten by the Void Collector, that were in whatever place was left before it got eaten. So yeah, that's fun. You will be level 2 Proto, which is very funny that it's called that, which is really not accurate at all. Big Windmill. I think I called it the Big Windmill. The Big Windmill. Oh wait, let me turn that off. There we go. Okay, and then this has just been floating for like a month. I really could not tell you why this has been floating for like a month. It just has been floating for like a month. There's a lot of little things I realized I was just kind of putting off on fixing or adjusting, and I'm like, well, I guess now's the time. Might as well. Like, something that you might have noticed is that the background of the potent sign there was like small pencil marks that were left from the like initial digital sketch that have just been in the background that I forgot to remove that layer, and they've just been there. They've just been there for like since July, and I just didn't remove it this entire time because I just forgot. I kept noticing it and then thinking, oh, I'll fix that later, and then later never happened. Oops. Haven't heard the Pizza Tower music in so long. Very good. Very good music. Void Collector lore dump? Yeah, you're getting the sick lore. Is there any rhyme or reason as to which cells you get turned into? I have to know what traits correspond with each cell. I guess, like, how I think about it is kind of more like, each cell is kind of like a remnant of a person. So, like, the person that Gunther was before he got eated and then turned into a Gunther. Like, I kind of think of Gunther as, like, one entity that basically gets, like, cloned a bunch of times for, like, immunization purposes. Like, that's like, rationally. I don't know why I'm explaining this as if this isn't, like, canon. Because, it's my shit. I can make whatever I want canon. Not that this is going to be in the game, really. But, basically, like, the person that Gunther was would have been, like, wearing clothes and shit the way that the main guy does. But because he's a simplified blob man, or a cell for so long, he becomes the simplified blob man. So that's something you could run around with, I guess. Does that mean they're actively being digested, or does Void Collector just kind of keep them there? So the places inside of it just kind of keeps, because it's basically a massive contiguous space. The cells inside are its cells. They are essentially antibodies that are a repellent. The idea being you have to weaken the immune system enough by killing enough cells to then access the heart itself directly. And the cells are what prevent you from accessing the heart. So by killing them, you accumulate more power, which you can then use to pierce through to kill the collector itself. And these will be things. I'm kind of given a lot of free information out right now, but I've been kind of tight-lipped in the past because this is going to be stuff you're going to learn in the introduction cutscene. And the game, again, coming out pretty soon. So, whatever. Not too worried about that. I can make whatever I want canon. Yes, I am the deity of this realm. Yeah, the game is inside the Void Collector. Maybe there will be a brief segment where you play outside of the Void Collector right at the beginning. Maybe. I think that'll be kind of fun if that's like if you start out outside of it, but then you spend most of the game inside. Especially if there's like a marked, like a very noticeable visual difference between the two. Like if outside looks really different from inside, I think that would be a fun contrast to play with. I think I'll put the museum like right here, maybe. That's kind of jutting up against that now. Anybody here ever play Zero Ranger? If not, this is not a request. This is a demand from me that you go play Zero Ranger. It's extremely good. Oh. You should put a sort of game tutorial outside the Void Collector. Well, great minds think alike, I guess, because that is actually what I was thinking I was gonna do. Because I think right now the current system, where it kind of just forces you to go do the tutorial, is a little clunky. So as long as the tutorials are obviously there, what the current plan is if I have a simplified sort of forced tutorial, which part of it will take place outside of the Void Collector, and then you get eaten, and then you do another part inside of the Void Collector before getting dropped out into the hub world proper. So those would be like fairly simple, but are more structured like introductory sequences to introduce the mechanics in a more natural, seamless way. And then I keep these tutorial stages as like advanced learning. So if you really want to delve deeper and understand the mechanics on a deeper level and practice them, you still have these tutorial stages as a way to do that. But you don't need to play the tutorials right away. And I'll also probably make the intro skippable. So if you're starting a new save, you can just skip all of the intro stuff and go right into the hub world right away. No fluff, no nothing. Bait and switch people into thinking it will be a different kind of game. Okay, well that's not what I was thinking. That's the lore you came up with? Uh-oh, I'm getting manipulated by your waves. I gotta put my, problem. I gotta put my friggin' tinfoil hats on. Too multiplied. How's it hanging? One game set in hell where I saw a showcase of. There's a tutorial outside of hell before killing off the main character and then sending her to hell. Interesting. Yeah, I guess I could play with the player expectations a little bit. That could be fun. Like maybe it's like, okay, time to fight this thing, and then you get eat. Well, no, I don't know if that works because the whole plan is to get eaten by the Void Collector, and get taken inside, so that way you can kill it from the inside. Like that is the objective from the get-go. I should stop snacking on M&Ms. I'm very hungry. I don't know when I got so hungry or why I'm so hungry, but I am hungry. Let me tell you, once stream's off, I got a can of Skyline chili waiting for me. I'm gonna crack that thing open, mix in some shredded cheese, get a nice sleeve of saltine crackers, and you know, do a little dip. I'm gonna dine on fine eating tonight. Let me tell you. Or fine eating by the standards of a broke-ass college student. What did I miss? You missed it all. The game's done. We're over. But no. Stuff you actually missed. New UI stuff. The release date is in April, but I will not say exactly when until it is a little closer. What else did I do? What did I say? There was some lore. There was a lot of lore drops. Because I've just kind of been answering questions about lore. I know that's what everybody loves. Everybody loves lore. Everybody's favorite thing in the whole wide world is lore. I watched a video the other day that was like talking about all of the fucking Garten of Banban games, which is a certainly a series. I've seen a little bit of it, just like observing from a distance. Obviously, I haven't, you know. I think I played the first one as a joke on a Discord call. Wasn't, you know, good. As I'm sure is shocking information. Let me line it up properly. Yeah, there we go. And that's, what was I gonna... Oh, yeah, no, I had a point to bringing this up. I'm not just saying Garten of Banban for no reason. But that game, I think those games have, like, sold a lot of copies. And it made me think, like, damn, I'm in the wrong, like, business. I'm spending a year making, like, a finely polished, like, FPS game that, like, I'm really passionate about, you know? I should have just, like, whipped up, like a shitty little, like, mascot horror game in, like, 2 days. If I was smart, that's what I would have did. Now, I would have been, like, if that's what I did, I would have been done already. Like, we would have been, like, cruising on out of here. Like that. We would have been done. I would have made a bajillion dollars off of, Seth's Fucko Land, which is, an exciting mascot horror game where you walk around for 40 minutes, and then you run away from something for 25 seconds, and then the game ends. What are the other bosses in the game called? There's Card Counter, there's Conductor, there is Uncle Time, and there is the Snowstorm Sorcerer. Why are these guys not showing up? Are they stuck on the wall or something? I think it's because it's not textured. We'll have to do that later. I got a real hankering to play TF2 lately. I don't know what it is. I want to boot that game back up in a very TF2-y mood. I haven't played Scout in like, at least a couple of weeks. It's too long. Gotta get back to running my stupid ass loadouts. Playing Harvest servers for 12 hours. How many Garten of Banban games are there? I think there's like 7. And then like they're all kind of bad, I think. I, again, want to stress, have not played them. I've got a lot of other things I'd rather be doing. Let me check something. How old, holy fuck. Okay, so their first game, they said they was 19 in a game that came out in 2019. Okay, so they're older than I thought they were. Okay, so the brothers were the brothers who made the Banban games. They were 19 at the time in 2019. So it's been 6 years since then. So they were 25. So they're 3 years older than I am. Okay, I thought we were like the same age, which I was gonna say. That is weird. But really, point of what I'm trying to get at here is that I worry sometimes about like self-awareness. Like especially with something like this, it's a big passion project of mine that I'm so enthused about, and when you put so much of yourself into something that's inherently kind of a vulnerable thing, you put something out there, and then there is the full ability for people to completely shit on and tear apart the thing that you've poured so much time into, right? And that's fine. Like that's just how the nature of making a video game is. And even then, a lot of the criticism and feedback you get is wholly well-intentioned. So the rare people who are kind of just being a dickhead are, pretty much nothing in comparison to people who actually mean well or want to make something better. But long ramble. Basically, something that I worry about is, I'm making this thing that I'm really excited about and enthused about, and that I think is cool and fun, and then other people look at their hands on it and be like, oh, this looks like dog shit, and this sucks. And that's kind of the bigger concern of mine, is that, like, I'll be all gung-ho working on something, and then not even be, like, realizing that it sucks, basically. That's the fear. One of my bigger fears working on this game, I would say, is that kind of thing, that fear of not being aware. And I think it's probably safe to say that I'm not unaware. There's been enough people who have seen it, and I'd like to think that I'm a fairly, like, aware enough individual. I'd like to think that, anyways. But it's kind of a scary thought. I'm curious if you guys have ever had that, where there's like a thing you're really excited about, and there's just that worry that like no one else is gonna give any kind of a shit. I'd pay all of my money to play Seth Mascot Horror. I wouldn't be against doing like a funny little like shitpost game. That could be kind of funny. Playing TF2 while listening to this, nice. But there are only 3. Now there's a lot. TF2 Harvest Service scared me to my core. Fair. Underestimated the sheer grind they are on. Yeah. Kind of a metaphor for life. Eh. When are you gonna implement Pluie? What is that? I don't know what that means. For every hater you get, I will devote 1 more hour to loving Void Collector. Thank you. I think that... I think a lot of people can kind of overstate haters and hating whatever. Like, I think somebody can just not like Void Collector and they're not like a hater or something. They don't have to be like, I don't think that somebody just because they dislike my game are a hater. That feels kind of cringy to say out loud. Even knowing I don't mean it, it feels weird to say that. What was I saying? Getting back in my ramble mode. Yeah. But I think generally, good rule of thumb, just for life, most people who criticize you mean pretty well. Even if it might not, like, necessarily feel good to hear a lot of the time, I think generally, vast majority of cases, people mean well. They want whatever's best for you, and they believe that whatever they're suggesting is for the best, even if you might disagree with them. Because, I mean, Lord knows I've had plenty of people suggest things for Void Collector that are not good ideas, or people who think that they've got a good idea of what the game is missing and what it needs, and suggest things that would be a pretty poor decision. But generally, people mean well. People mean well. Generally. People really hate anything these days. It's true. Some people can kind of, like, latch on to stuff, but I don't want to just, like, assume because somebody doesn't like my thing, I don't want to, like, point them out and be like, hater! That guy's a hater! Unless it's funny. In which case I will. Because it's funny. Can't really use that word, it seemed right. I mean, there's a certain kind of person who is like that. But I think generally it's kind of hard to get haters if you're pretty chill, I guess. Like, I think it would be... This is something I've thought about, too, is that it is so much easier to, like, completely ruin a reputation than it is to build a reputation. Like, I think right now, I don't know if I have much of a reputation, although, if there's if you guys are, like, game developers, you know game developers, or, like, game developers who have channels and stuff, or posting stuff on Steam, I kind of want to build, like, more of a developer community, and maybe, like, do some collaborations and stuff. I think that'd be fun, so, you know. Some people hating on Baldur's Gate 3. It's a very fun game. I need to play more of that. It's a good thing you guys aren't designing Void Collector. It would fucking suck. That's not what I said. Although some people in the audience have very bad ideas. My friend hates on Void Collector and Weezer, so I fed him to the Void Collector. What is the reputation there? Or the correlation there? And you can irreversibly ruin a reputation, but not irreversibly reinforce one. Yeah, that's very true. It's very easy to do something and then just completely make people not want to interact with you or deal with your shit ever again. Which is why I think it's very important to be aware of these sorts of things. Like, this might sound presumptuous or overambitious of me, but I've thought about what I would do if Void Collector takes off, and I really want to make sure that if this is successful and I can make a decent, like, living off of doing game development stuff, I need to, like, make sure to not become that greedy asshole guy, right? Like, I want to be hyper-aware and prevent myself from becoming that shithead who everybody likes when they're small and then gets an ounce of size or money or anything and it just becomes a complete shithead. That is one of my greatest fears, is that I could be like, I could let a little greed get to my head and then stop doing the shit I like, or, you know, take advantage of people's, like, expectations, and I don't want to do that. I really hope I don't end up becoming that guy. I guess rather than saying I hope I don't become that guy, I'll just do everything I can to not become that guy. So I'll be cool and not lame. I want to make good games and make money with a different job. That's fair. I really like making video games, though. I want to do this full time. I want to spend, like, all day making games. That is, like, the ultimate dream thing. I want this to be something I can justify spending all my time doing. Because then I can make some crazy shit. Like, this is... Man. It's hard for me to emphasize just how much satisfaction working in this game, like, has given me this last year. It has just been such a joy to work on. I'm so glad I did this. Like, even if Void Collector comes out and sells 4 copies, it has just been such an like, important, transformative year in my life. And I've been getting kind of emotional the past couple of days, just thinking about how how long it's been since I've started working on this game, and it's, I mean, in the grand scheme of game development, it's like pretty short still, but it certainly feels pretty damn long. But just thinking about how far it's gotten already, how much better the game's gotten, just being blown away by how much support there's been, how many people have actually been interested in one of my dumbass projects. It's, yeah, no, it's kind of easy to forget about it because I've been doing this for what feels like ages now already, but, you know, a year. It's easy to kind of forget that sort of thing. But, no, it's crazy. My biggest fear is becoming a AAA studio executive? Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I don't want to be that guy. And I think, I feel like that's kind of, that sort of fear is part of why I'm just talking about it now. Because I've kind of thought, like, both in the videos and just kind of generally in online and, like, streams and how I present myself, I think I haven't really been 100% accurate to how I am and how I want to be. Just because I'm like, I don't know if people really want to hear this sort of thing, or if people would care, or whatever, and I'm like, hold on, why am I doing live streams? I'm not doing live streams to make money. I don't really make money doing this. I don't really care that much if I get a ton of viewership. Like, it's, like, cool is that the numbers are there, but I do the streams because the streams are fun. So, like, if I'm streaming it and people don't give a shit, but that's the thing I want to do, why don't I just stream anyway? Like, why do I care? You know? Like, why would I hold back from doing the stuff I want to do, or being the kind of guy I want to be, making the stuff I want to make, for people who I don't even care? Like, I don't care if they don't care. Like, why would I give a shit? So why don't I just make the stuff I want to make? I don't know. I've been doing a lot of thinking. I've been reflecting a lot lately. Very contemplative week for old Seth. It's been a good week though. It's I think it's important to step back sometimes and do a little reflection on things. You know, analyze where you are, think about where you've been, where you're going, where you're at. I've actually been thinking about that just with the graduation and release date coming up so soon. Like, I just think about when I started college, and that was such, you know, a big deal. Where it's like my entire life changed for years and years after that, and I feel like I'm about to hit another one of those. Another pivotal key point in my life. What am I doing? I got a little spaced out talking about emotional shit in life. There we go. Yeah, in life there's roadblocks, as DJ Khaled once said. So, wise words. I'm curious. This is a bed, by the way. I kind of think this little curve bit here does not help actually, so we're just gonna get rid of that. I could also just make these custom props instead of. Yeah, we'll keep this for the sake of the layout at least. I'll probably make these some custom Blender models just to put them in and make this a little more detailed. I think that'll do well. Where did my stream go? Am I live still? I am. Okay, I'm live. Yeah, okay, that was weird. I was wondering why chat wasn't moving and why my screen was... My YouTube tab that I had the stream up on just crashed randomly. Okay, let me catch up on chat. See what you guys are saying. Hey, what's up, Nitrix? Seth is becoming a philosopher. We need to make him stupid. Well, this is always something I've had. Like, these are always thoughts I've been thinking this whole time. I just haven't shared them with people because I didn't think like anybody would really give a shit. But it's like, again, I don't care if nobody gives a shit. I want to say it. These are my brainwaves, and I'm gonna say them whether you like it or not. Mr. Audience Man. And you create something as beautiful as Bouncer is already the smartest person alive. Well, I definitely would not say that I'm a particularly super smart fella. I think I'm moderately intelligent. I'm good at learning, which is an important skill as a I was gonna say something. I didn't have anything. See, you know, I make mistakes too. I'm a human man. I fumble on my words. I stumble on my shit. I'm mortal. Point being, I have decided to not sanitize shit as much on streams. So do not be surprised if you just hear a lot of dumbass shit coming out of my mouth. Because we are not being cringe anymore. We are not pretending that we're not stupid, because we are stupid, and I'm taking all the things that are in my head and putting them out there. Instead of keeping them tucked away in this cranium. Is what I'm saying does this make sense to a single soul other than myself? Probably not. Okay, so we got a bed, we got a table. What else do we want to put here to like decorate this place? I think maybe like a poster board sort of thing, or like a cork board. That's the term I'm looking for. Yeah, so like this is where you could like hang up some stuff on the wall. Yeah. And I'm thinking for any lore aficionados wondering why there's like furniture here, this would be like stuff he salvaged. Seth, the stream is dirty and grimy, you need to clean it. Alright, I'll clean it. There you go. Now you're clean. Okay, but I think this is a good level of detail for his room. Gives us plenty of space to put stuff. Ever since he started thinking about that chili, he's been saying deep stuff. The chili is the activation code. I started thinking about life. When you're sitting there with your bowl of chili, with your shredded cheese and your saltine crackers, and you're taking a big scoop of that chili, taking a delicious piping hot bite of that Skyline chili, that's really the perfect time to sit and contemplate about life, about the directions you're going, the places you've been. You know, all the things you gotta do and wanna do. Yeah, okay. I am tired. My brain is sore. My brain is melting into goop. I didn't really make a lot of progress today, but that's fine. Today was more of a celebratory stream, although it kind of ended up becoming a philosophy session. But that's fine. Next time, though, I promise we'll be more productive. We will stay on topic, although I will ramble about some bullshit, and you will not be able to stop me. With that being said, I will see you guys next time. Thank you all very much for dropping in. And remember, if you have not played the demo, go play the demo. Go wishlist the full game. We're trying to get those numbers up. Yeah, that'll do it. Have a great day, everybody.